All righty. Looks like it's just you and I, Marina. That's fine. I will publicly take the responsibility for misscheduling and then redoing the link. So someone may have tried to join and not had a link to join. So
Ah,
we'll record this and we're good to go.
okay.
Do you have any questions? Like since it's just you and I,
Yeah, I do. I'm really thankful because I usually don't, like I said, have the opportunity to join because I am usually working on the weekends. But
yeah.
I started looking at the assignment, the group assignment, and I
Yes.
just had a few questions. So I'm super used to writing like scientific reports. Like I'm in nursing, so I haven't written a business report before, if I'm being
Okay.
completely honest with you.
Yep. Fair
So
enough.
I'm just like inquiring about some guidance. Like we've been assigned this fictional business. I've seen that, and we're writing to that business.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You're a consultant, and
Okay.
you're writing to that business to make suggestions as to a marketing strategy based on the several different topics or areas of expertise that you can choose.
Okay, so like for example, so my part is search engine optimization. I will be based on my business that I've been assigned. I'm kind of giving the business ideas on how I think they can optimize their online business with different SEO strategies that I've learned.
That's right. Or if you're the consultant, how you propose to do it on their behalf.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, you can, I mean, you can educate them. You can take either approach. You can educate them, but generally you're a consulting business and you're going to, you're going to charge for your services. So you're going to provide them with this, and this. This is the highest priority. These are things that we have to do based on the existing fictional website that you have. So that sort of approach.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. All right. That's awesome.
So in general, the assignment is up to 5 people. Some of the groups are 4, but it's pre-assigned with 5 people. Everyone's going to have their independent part, and that's worth 85% of the mark. And you may well know this. I'm saying this more for the audience that may watch this afterwards.
Okay.
So 85% of the mark is the 700 words that you do, and the other 15% is how well the group meshes it together. So there's several different, if you look at the template, there's several different sections to fill out that are done as a group. So, you may assign it to one person, but my advice to groups is always to have one person that's ultimately responsible for a final review. You can all work together, but someone should look at the whole paper before it gets submitted so that it flows all together. Like I get things like, let's say the company's name is Green Dogs Enterprises that you're consulting for. That's not one of the choices, but let's say it is. Some people call it G-Dog. Some people call it Green D Enterprises. You know what I mean? There won't be a consistency there. So look at how the fonts and everything else are before the final submission. I think one person should go through it all and make sure that it flows as one big piece together, just to get the best marks possible.
Yeah, that makes total sense. 100%.
Yeah, and the other thing to address is, I get it. It's a group project. I don't even like group projects. I assign a group project, and if you look at my rate my professor's comment section, someone takes a run at me for it. My reason for doing it is so that we don't have to mark 275 essays. I mean, there's an awful lot that goes into marking, and if we can mark a report that has 5 people's contributions to it, it's a lot more efficient. And I think 700 good words can be done in such a way that it truly is, useful and a reasonable test for 15% of your mark. So.
Yeah, I agree. I've never had a course where like a section is marked individually and then the rest is marked as a whole. It's usually all as a whole in my program. So it's really nice where you can work together on those sections, but then you can still put your all into your specific section. And that really represents your knowledge and understanding of like what you've learned. So I think that's a great way to do it.
That's Thomas and I had, I don't know if we're on our 5th time teaching the course. He's taught it more than I have by a lot, He's been a workshop leader. He's developed content for this course for quite a few years now. He works with the other prof as well as with me, meaning that sometimes there's a different prof teaching this. But we tried with a group project approach and with feedback by the peers, and affect the marks that way. And that just became very complicated and, it not necessarily reflective of people's effort, right? If you're popular and you do nothing, you can get a really good mark. And then I'm dealing with students emailing me saying, so-and-so is not doing any work, and I can't police it, so if there's a blank section, if Joe Smith is in your group and Joe doesn't show up and his section's blank, great. Who cares? Joe will get a 0, and you guys can still get 100% each when you work together. So
exactly. No, that's perfect. I really like the way it's laid out. I have another question.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
This is kind of like, I don't really know if you can answer it, but I'm going to try to ask it anyway. So I'm not familiar. I've been assigned the online business of like a online streaming service.
Okay.
I'm not really familiar. I've tried watching videos on like Twitch and stuff to like understand what it is, but I just need you to reassure me that my understanding of a streaming service is correct. So basically people sign up for like a video streaming service where they upload their videos, like if they're live videos.
They don't have to be. I'm just going to take a quick look at the exact description that we provided, just so I don't mislead everyone and cause chaos. Let me just get to
it was such a like brief description, which I totally get, and I could be just like not understanding it properly, but I just want to understand the business before I go on this rampage about what we are and it not even be the same thing.
That's completely fair. Yeah,
I've been like asking my like video gamer friends, I'm like, what do you do when you online stream? Like, and they're like, oh my gosh, Rena, you're getting way too in depth.
Yes, yeah, fair enough. I am just looking for somewhere we have, sorry, it's in course content and the folder. There we go. Sorry, the description was sitting on the top of the folder. It confused me for a second. So you are
On Foot and Online.
On Foot and Online, a new online platform specifically for in real life streamers looking to monetize their streams. Okay, target market teen to adults. So yeah, that's exactly right. They're like, it can be gamers, it could be whatever hobby that you can do that you can stream live. So that's the kind of content, and we're talking in real life, so not pre-prepared videos. So kind of like what we're doing now, but with something probably way more exciting that people would pay to be a part of.
Okay, exactly. So like someone like me being the On Foot and Online like company, well, the consultant building this online streaming service, people would sign up for my streaming service to broadcast their videos and monetize their videos.
Not exactly. So it's more, so let me just go over the using template. Provide a business report on how the business that has hired you should use your chosen strategy. So they're the ones that are hiring you. You're not that business, they're hiring you.
Okay.
Your MS consulting, or whatever your group wants to call you guys, your consulting service that's consulting to On Foot and Online.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, yeah.
So it's an existing business or a startup business or whatever. And in your case, you're talking about getting them to the top of Google, essentially, right? Search engine optimization. So how are you going to do that? How are they going to build content that drives them to the top? I mean, that's a lot of what this entire course is talking about.
Yeah.
Is getting to the top of search engines, right? So.
Okay, that makes sense. And we're drawing, like, we're supposed to be using like more so course material, like for example, like, you know, like keyword analysis and how we're going to use that. Okay. That makes total sense. I'm like, I feel like I was thinking too much into like, we're not creating this website. We're not creating this streaming service. We're focusing more on like the marketing strategies of how we're going to get this business to the top in.
That's right. That's exactly right. You're a marketing company. That's what you do. You're a marketing company. So
that's perfect. That answers my question 100%.
Good. Yeah, Thomas does a nice job. If you or anyone else watching this hasn't watched his review of it, he talks about how to approach this. And we always, in this course, we always try, and because there's all sorts of information out there, we always try and have students use reference to the course and through the lens of the way we've looked at online marketing, approach it in that manner, right? There's different approaches, there's different ways of doing things, but we always say the lens of the course materials.
Okay, that makes sense 100%.
Good. Okay, awesome. Anything else? Any other questions?
Kind of totally. Well, it could be related to this project, but I was just printing out my notes for the exam, and I don't really understand backlinking at all. Like I don't know if you could just briefly describe that to me. I'm just like fixing up my notes and.
Sure. So backlinking is just having two ends of the link, meaning I'll put your links on my website if you put mine on yours.
Okay.
That's
and
all.
is that like so it's not because you say like stuff that I've read, like we tried to avoid paid backlinking because it can lead to like spam and like non-reliable websites. So this wouldn't be paid. It would kind of be like a give take, like I'll reference you in mine, you reference me kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little history. Back in the day, I'm going to say 15 years ago, when I was doing SEO work before it was much of a science. Google wasn't as sophisticated. You could get yourself to the top of Google by just going out and buying links to your website on thousands of different websites. And it wouldn't be expensive. It wouldn't be useful in any way. It wouldn't indicate that you were popular or that you had good content or anything. But that was one of the metrics that they relied on heavily. So people did that. So it was called black hat SEO. You went out and you did that. Of course, Google got smart to that. Google continues to evolve, and their business model is to promote websites that have the best content, right? So that if you're searching for something as a Google user, you get to the right place, not to the one that bought the most backlinks. So now it's considered spammy to do that. So if you do that, they were called link farms back in the day. So they were just, someone would set up literally 1,000 websites and they just interlink them all and then sell the links to other websites. And, it just drove numbers up. And like I said, Google was very unsophisticated. So that's something we avoid now, because if Google tumbles to that, they can even blackball you, but they will definitely reduce your ratings. We're doing that. So it's something we avoid. And what they want to happen is for it to happen organically. So they want you to write a really nice blog post that someone else reads and then links to without you ever knowing that person.
That makes sense.
Okay. That's what they want. So now in reality, you would often, if you're a website marketer or if you're making your living off your websites, you're going to interlink your own websites for sure, right? You're going to do as much as you can. You're going to provide links on, Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else too, right? And those are going to be yours. But if you get a following and someone starts liking what you're doing, they may put links up, just like I would share content on LinkedIn or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense 100%. And in relation to like blog posts and like forums, let's say like if you have like a website or you're an online marketer and you have this business and you wanted people to post kind of like blogs or forums about their experience with the website, is that a good thing to do? I know you can get like negative feedback from your customers, but is that still a good option to so when people go on your website, they can read like other people's experience with your business? Like, is that good?
It is good.
Okay.
Like you said, you have to identify and be cautious of the fact that your competitors could use that to their advantage by giving you negative reviews. We've all heard of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to have that. But at the end of the day, you control your website, right? You can take down anything that you want.
Mhm.
I mean, ideally, you don't take anything down, and it lends credibility to your website. You know, but I mean, again, going back to my rate my professor, take a look at that and see if you think those are average students or they're students that I've told no to one too many times, right? So that yeah, you want to build that honest feedback. I always look at feedback. I don't usually look at feedback on the website. I look at feedback on feedback services, whatever that may be about the website. I'll Google reviews on whatever before I buy it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Thank you. That makes so much sense. It's so much nicer to talk, like to
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's the disadvantage of asynchronous web-based learning, right? So that you don't get a chance to do that all the time.
yeah. And I'm like reading this and there's like a short definition of like backlinks in the
Yep.
textbook. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like why? Yeah. So thank you.
Yep. Fair enough. I just want to, do you have any more questions, or does anyone that has joined us have any questions that they want to jump in with? I'll do my sort of standard admin spiel just to cover off the week ahead of us. We have quiz 4 due next Friday. I better pull up my schedule here just to make sure I'm not lying to anyone. Yeah, we've got we're in module 4. We're in the last part of module 4. I am just looking at, yeah, so module 4 goes to March 13th. Friday, March 11th is quiz 4. And hopefully you've already put in discussion 3, the first post, which was due yesterday. If you haven't, don't worry about it too much. There's a flat 10% penalty no matter how late you are with it. So with the caveat that the discussion will close permanently on this Friday at 11:59 p.m. So if you're late, don't worry about it. Get it in there. It's better to get some marks than none, and get that second post in by which is the response to the peer, by this Friday coming, March 11th. The other thing I want to talk about, well, I should talk about assignment 1, particularly part 2. I was a little concerned. I am a little concerned. We had 30% of the class hand that in late. I have never, ever seen that kind of percentage before. I don't know what's going on, but apparently it's going on with a lot of different people. I do take marks for late. I'm fair across the board. If you're 1 second late, you're in the 10%. After 7 days, we do not accept your submission. That is fair to do the same thing for everyone, so there's no exceptions. So that is my approach. I'm not sure why 30% of the class was late. I have no real idea. Like I said, I've never seen that before, so that was concerning to me. Some of them were very, very well done. And the video submissions are some of the most fun things to mark, to watch, and to see people's creativity, because of the dimension of creativity that people can employ as opposed to just writing. So yeah, we enjoy marking them. They're not all marked. I would say they're about 3/4 of the way marked at this point. We'll get them to you certainly this week, sooner rather than later. I know that the marks are being released as they are submitted. I have people questioning their marks or having specific questions about why they got this and that. I'm responding to everyone, but I'm responding that let us get through the marking first for everyone, and then I'll circle back and address any changes to marks or any reviews of marks that need to be done. So feel free to email me right away, but know that if it takes us to Tuesday to get everything marked and posted, then it'll be Wednesday that I'll start reviewing those things. So you're not forgotten. I've got you're all in the inbox, the 4 or 5 people that have reached out, and I will get back to you. That brings me to the next point that I want to bring up, and that is that Friday, March 11th is also the course withdrawal date. What that means, if you're not aware, is that you can withdraw from the course without academic penalty, meaning that you will not show any mark on your official record, right? So if you wait till the 12th or further, you'll be awarded whatever mark for whatever work that you've done. So if, say, at this point you've got 15 marks in the bank and you don't do anything further and you don't withdraw, well, you're going to show 15% for this course, right? If you make the decision that you need to withdraw by and up to the end of Friday, then it disappears from your grades. Okay, I'm not encouraging anyone to withdraw. I'm not trying to do that, but I think that if you're on the border, or you're just not making it in the course, you don't want to take a failure. You don't want a failure to go on your average. So I would suggest talking to an academic advisor. It's probably a really busy time for them at this time of year as we approach the drop date, but I would recommend doing that. That's not to say that I mean, we've got a lot of marks to go yet. So if you can apply yourself, you still got lots of potential marks to get in the course. So, but I did want to bring that to everyone's attention that we are at the withdrawal date coming this Friday. I think so. Assignment 2, we talked a little bit about that. It is due on Wednesday, March 23rd, which isn't all that far from now. It's also complicated by the fact that you have other people to interact with. So use the tools provided to you in the group, like the discussion board, like emailing and such, going back and forth to get that off the ground. But don't waste a lot of time, like Marina and I talked about earlier. Don't waste a lot of time. If someone's not responding, move on. Their section will just be a 0. Don't worry about that too much. I guess if you get in a situation where you're the last person standing, then you can reach out to me and perhaps there's an opportunity to put you into another group. But I mean, at that point, you're probably just going to want to finish off, because by the time people aren't responding for sure, it'll be halfway through the period between now and the due date. So. Marina?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. I was trying to, with Zoom, it's so hard to coordinate. Like, are they going to finish talking? Can I jump in now? Just one last question. Are we allowed to speak in first person for the business report? Like, I don't really know how that works.
I would not. I would advise against that. I would, okay. I would say I would use more of a neutral tone.
Okay.
And think of yourself as a representative of the business. I would speak from the business's perspective as opposed to from my own perspective anyways. So,
okay. So like, for example, like On Foot and online will optimize SEO by doing such and such, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Without saying we will use these strategies. Okay.
That's perfect. Right. That's right. And when you say we you would refer to as your consulting company that's offering them the service, right? We will coach On Foot and online as to how to improve their blogs or whatever, right?
Okay, so question for you: could we come up with a fictitious name as a consulting company to use that throughout? Say, name our will be doing this, so that. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think there's a component to that. So. You and your group will assist a small to medium-sized business in leveraging online business principles to gain and sustain, blah, blah. Your group will be assigned a fictitious business and a brief description. Create a brief synopsis of the business and what they offer. Include the synopsis in your deliverable. So that's your company, right?
Okay.
Keep the synopsis very brief. Your main focus needs to be on answering the essential question. Sometimes people spend a whole bunch of time, a whole bunch of words developing both their consulting company and the assigned company, the ComSwap or On Foot Online, defined in the 80s. All those, they spend way too much time describing that. Don't waste too much effort on it. Give yourself a place to start and then move on, sort of thing. So.
Perfect. So the about you part in this section of the template that you released, the about you is about our consulting company, and then the executive summary is a summary of like the report.
That's right. The executive summary is the executive summary report. That's a problem area. It's good that you bring that up. People don't do an executive summary very well. Typically, that's why we provided a link, I think, right in the template to take a look at an executive summary. It should give an overall view. An executive summary should give an overall view in probably about 250 to 400 words. We're in that range of the entire report, including conclusions, everything. So it's for the busy executive that isn't going to get down into the weeds and read every little bit. But a lot of students will make that an introduction as opposed to an executive summary. So that's feedback that I give every year. That's not an executive summary, that's an introduction.
Amazing. Okay, because when you see executive summary, you think of like you be summarizing, I don't know, at first glance, like summarizing your business or whatnot, but no, it's a summary of the
report, the report itself. Yeah. Think of it. I mean, there's lots of times in business where a report can be 500 pages, right? It's got all sorts of analysis. It's got marketing strategies and stuff like that. Well, the CEO doesn't read that, but he or she does need to have an idea of what the content is. So they would read the executive summary and then drill down to parts that they were concerned about typically. So that's what it's there for.
Awesome.
Okay. So yeah, don't delay on getting ready to work on that and reaching out to your peers to make sure everyone's on track. And like we discussed before, the last couple of people joined us, you really probably want to assign one person to do one last pass. I only want one submission, by the way. I don't want everyone in the group to submit me the same copy, one submission per group. If you, for some reason, need to resubmit it, that's fine. We'll mark the latest version of it, of course, but have one person look at it with a critical eye at the end before it goes in. So I'm just looking at my notes here. I don't think I have anything else that I wanted to cover in terms of administration. So yeah, any other questions from any of the people that are here?
I'm good. I have no.
You're good? Okay, excellent. Okay. Well, thank you for everyone that joined. Again, my apologies for messing up the links and putting the wrong time down there. Apparently I can't count very well, but it's good for the rest of the term now. Yeah, I do appreciate you taking the time on a Saturday to come and join and ask questions. That's really, really helpful. It's really hard to talk to a blank screen or to to guess what's on people's minds. So if you are good for questions and such, feel free to get on with your Saturday. Thank you very much. I will post this recording for anyone that wants to review it to do so. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marina.